I'm going to show you how you can generate those stunning designs with Claude Design and eliminate the dreaded AI slop once and for all. We're going to follow a simple step-by-step that will turn Claude into a design genius. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Michael, and over the past 2 years, I've consulted and built solutions for 6 to 11 figure businesses across the world. And now I'm sharing everything I've learned along the way. So before we even touch Claude Design, we need to prepare a couple of things. So this workbook is going to walk us through exactly what we need to do, and I'm going to give you access to it completely for free. So you can access it using the first link below the video. You don't have to give your email or anything. So what we need to do first is create what's called a design system. And the kind of inputs that we need to prepare for this are going to be the brand concept, so the idea for our brand, the design.md, copy.md. I'm gonna walk through what those are in a moment, as well as any assets, so any images, videos, things like that. So all of that is gonna create our engine, right? Our design system that we're gonna use to create repetitive assets. So things like landing pages, mobile apps, slide decks, and whatever the heck we want, basically with Claude Design. So the step number one that we need to do is to brainstorm the brand. So if you already have a established idea for the brand, then you can skip this step. But if not, then this is the prompt that you can use on something like ChatGPT or Claude. You can click on the button below to copy it. But basically, this is where you give ChatGPT all the information that you have so far. So the idea for your brand, there may be different colors, maybe the names, right? And Claude or ChatGPT is going to brainstorm everything with you. So this is to solidify the whole brand concept that you're thinking about. So in my case, I created a supplement brand. So it's called Neuro. And this is literally the prompt I gave it. So I said I want to create a high quality supplement brand. Target audience is adults aged 25 to 45. I want it to feel modern, trustworthy, etc., etc. So this is the prompt I've used. So once you go a little bit back and forth with ChatGPT regarding different concepts for the brand, different ideas for names maybe, the step number two that we have is to create a design.md. So based on all of that conversation, we're now gonna create a markdown file that's gonna contain information about the colors, the aesthetics, the fonts, as well as the spacing and different elements of the website that you have. So what we're going to use for this is a awesome design.md GitHub. So this is the repo. I'm going to give you a link to it as well. And this repo contains examples of design.mds for different brands such as Airbnb or Airtable. And what we're going to do with that is we're basically going to give that to ChatGPT and say, create something like this for us. So the prompt for this is going to be this. So generate design.md. So here's a GitHub repo that contains examples of design.md files. This is where you can paste the link as well. And then ChatGPT is going to analyze the repo and then create something like this for you that you can download and use later on. So once you have the design.md ready, the next step is to create copy.md, and the same logic applies here. So this is what we're going to use to give Claude Design the direction for the copy. For our assets, and this is the exact prompt. So once we have the design.md, then go ahead and create copy.md, and then that's gonna include things like the different rules for writing, and it's gonna obviously base it on the conversation that we had with ChatGPT, but it's also gonna instruct Claude Design to not produce any of the typical AI writing elements, such as the M dashes or it's not about this, it's about that, and things like that. So again, here's the prompt that you can use. So now that we have this ready, the final step in this process is to prepare the assets. So those should ideally be the actual images of your product or images of different things that you want to have on your website or slide decks or things like that. You can generate those with AI as well if you want to, but ideally you would use the actual images here. And if you want to generate those with AI, there is a prompt for you as well. So now that we have all those elements, let's bring it together. So let's head over to Claude Design, and in order to access it, you simply head over to Claude and open up the bar on the left, and this is where you've got option to select design right here. So if you give that a click, it'll take you to a screen that looks like this. So this is where we can start creating our design system. And to do this, click on the design systems at the bottom, and then you have an option to create design system like this. So I'm going to click on create here. And there are a couple of things that we need to do here. So the company name and blurb, this is where you can paste the thing from step number 1, so the idea for your brand. So mine is going to be something like this. So brand name, direction, product, etc. So if I scroll a bit further down, this is where we can upload all of our files that we have. So where you see add fonts, logos, and assets, you want to click on browse here, and then this is where you upload everything that you just generated. So we've got copy, design.md, as well as a couple of logos. So this is where you would upload your assets as well. So I'm going to click on open, and then that's going to upload all of my files here. I've only got a couple of logo designs here, but that should be enough for this demo. And then any other notes, this is where you provide any other information that you want to give Claude Design. So once you click on continue to generation, it will take anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes to create. But this is obviously a one-off task that's going to save you a ton of tokens and time going forward. So make sure you do that first. And once you created your system, you're then going to be able to use it when generating anything with Claude Design. So under design systems here, if you give that a click, this is where you'll see all of your design systems. So Neuro design system is the one I just created. And in terms of the model itself, so I actually recommend going with Opus 5 for this. I don't recommend going anywhere lower, so I wouldn't use Sonnet to create anything from scratch. And I also wouldn't use Fable because that's what I found to be a bit of an overkill for this type of work. So Opus is like your sweet spot, and this is what you should be using. So once you have the design system ready, you can create pretty much anything with Claude Design, and whatever you create is going to follow whatever is in the design system, which is why it was so important for us to just get it right from the get-go. So we're going to use the UI mockups template to create a landing page in a moment. But first, I want to show you how I go about making my designs look beautiful right from the start without the typical AI sloppy elements. So what I do is I go to sites like Dribble, and this is where I browse through the different elements for the design, different landing pages. So I just went here and typed supplements in the search bar, and this is what came out. So I can already see a couple of concepts that I can use myself, such as this one. Here, I like the bottle with the supplements around there, and we've got the different buttons on a page. So this is one that we can use. But if I scroll a bit further down, I've got some more examples, and this is important to obviously scroll through and go through as many examples as you can. We are not going to copy any of them one-to-one, but the idea here is that whenever we see something that we like from any of the designs, like for example how the supplement bottle is placed here, and maybe I want to copy how the font is laid out here and the spacing of the different letters. Again, we are not copying anyone. We are just looking for different elements that we like. And once we do, then we're going to give all of that to Claude Design, and then we're going to produce our landing page that way. The other website that you can browse is Awards, so awards.com, and this is where you can also find a lot of cool design concepts and for elements as well. So I actually saw something here that I liked, and I think it was this one. So if I click this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this image. So copy image, and I'm going to head back over to Claude Design. I'm just going to paste it right here. And I've also generated a hero video that I want to have on top of the landing page. So I'm just going to attach it right here as well. So I'm going to click on the plus icon and attach file. And then I'm going to select the supplements final MP4. So this is the video that I want to have as a kind of hero section. And this is the prompt I'm going to use. So I'm going to say, create a responsive landing page. Use the attached screenshot, copy the layout, composition, and use the attached MP4 file as a hero visual so that it's going to be scroll controlled. So when I scroll through the page, the video is going to play. And then I'm going to say, keep the experience smooth, premium, responsive, and visually consistent. So I'm going to run this, and then let's see what happens. So as you can see, our landing page is ready. So let's take a look what it looks like. And if I start scrolling, the video starts playing. We can see the supplements kind of flying out of the bottle, which is awesome. And then different headings are going to appear at different kind of places throughout the video. So let's just keep going. This is where the rest of the page is going to be. And again, this is pretty much on brand with what we have in design.md. And if I keep going, this is where I've got some more information. And then I love the fact that Claude Design actually used the shot from the video as one of the images for the website. And if I keep going, this is where we'll have some more of our products. So I didn't actually provide any product images when I was generating this design system. I probably should have, but it's good that Claude didn't actually use any placeholders for this one. And that is pretty much it. So I want to quickly cover the editing part. So there are a few things that you can do. So first one is the edit, and if you click that, then that's going to let you edit any of the elements kind of manually. So if I click on any of that, that's going to let me change the text, change the how the text is laid out, the sizing as well, and I can do the same with pretty much any element of the website. So this is good for any quick edits. But if there is any large edits that you want to make, then there is a comment option right here. And what you can do is you can actually select any of the elements that you want, like this one, for example, and then you can add comments for Claude, and then you can say, change this to blue, for example, right? And then you can send that to Claude or add a comment for later. If you click on that, then that's going to appear on the left-hand side right here. And you can click on resolve to get rid of it. So once you're done with the design and you want to share it with someone else, then click on the share option in the top right, and then that's gonna open up this window here. You can publish this as artifact for other people to access it. You can also export it as PDF, HTML, or PowerPoint if it's a presentation. And if you wanted to hand this over to Claude Code, then you want to export this as zip. So you want to select the project HTML, and that's gonna export a zip file that you can then pass over to Claude Code for any further changes if you wanted to. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other things that you can create with Claude Design. By the way, I'm gonna give you all the prompts that I've used as well in the workbook. So there is the mobile app flow right here. So I'm gonna copy all of the prompt here, and you'll notice that those are very, very short because we don't actually have to give Claude that many instructions. Because we've done all of the work up front with the design system. At this point, we can be pretty much as vague as we want. So I'm gonna ask Claude to design a mobile app flow for Neuro, focus on helping customers manage their supplement routine. And I give some of the other information here. So yeah, let's run this. And by the way, make sure that you always select the templates that you want to create. So I'm gonna select mobile app design, and that is it. So let me run this and let's see what comes out. And so this is what it looks like. And sometimes you'll notice that Claude is going to ask you questions before responding. So I just gave it this prompt and I came back with a list of questions that I had to clarify, which is cool. And let me just zoom out of this. What I love about designing mobile app flows with Claude Design is that you get this nice little phone view, and you can actually click through the app to make sure that everything is working. So I'm going to click on get started. So I'm going to give it a name. And then this is where I can properly test the app to see what the experience actually is for the end user, which is awesome. One other thing that I want to do is create a slide deck for a potential investor. So I'm just going to I'm going to copy this prompt and go back to Claude Design. I'm going to paste this right here and make sure that I select the correct template. So I'm going to expand this, and then the slide deck is supposed to be here, right? So this is slides, and yeah, let's run this and see what happens. So I've done something a little bit different here. So I actually asked Claude Design to use placeholders for images for now. I didn't provide any images for the slides originally. And so if you have something like Higgsfield, then at this point you can use the MCP connector to actually generate some images for you. But I didn't in this case. So I actually said, use placeholders for now, and it generated the slide deck. And then after that, I uploaded all of the images I generated to this chat. And then I said, insert those images on the correct slides. So I actually named each file, slide 2, slide 1, so that Claude knows which image to use for which slide. And this is the final output. Look at that. So I can scroll through the slide deck right here. And that's especially useful when you're producing those slide decks regularly for different clients, maybe, and you want to have each slide deck with your brand colors and logos and images. This is the perfect way to do it. This is one of the best use cases for Claude Design, actually, to create those slide decks. And the same kind of editing logic applies here. So I can click on comments to add comments. I can edit the slides myself. And then after that, once I'm happy with the design, I can click on share and export as PowerPoint or Google Slides. So there's one more thing that I want to create with Claude Design, and that's going to be an email. And it's going to be for a newsletter release about magnesium supplements. So I said, research all the reliable sources, pull all the information together. And I also said, use actual images and simple supporting graphics. So what Claude Design is supposed to do at this point is go ahead and research the best images to use. And I'm going to select the HTML template as a template. And I'm going to run this and see what happens. So here is what we got back, and it got it almost right with the image. It was, close enough to supplements, right? maybe. So if I scroll through, we've got information about the magnesium, so what magnesium does. And again, this is on brand with our design system. So it used the colors, the fonts, which is amazing. And if I keep going, I like the layout as well. We've got different kind of elements that look different. So this little box here with square corners. And again, we've got pumpkin seeds as our placeholder image. Not the best choice for magnesium supplements, maybe, but yeah, that isn't magnesium, definitely. Anyway, you would obviously get a lot better results when you give more images and more assets to the design system itself. So that's it for today's video. Now you know exactly how to go about creating a design system and how to use this design system to create virtually anything that you want with Claude Design and avoid the dreadful AI slop that's all over internet right now. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.